Finally! It's Hobbit night, Wednesday with Wiley, as Shannon put out on the Twitters earlier. I'm Wiley Hobbit. I'm your DM for this evening's game of Dungeons and Dragons 5e. We're playing a little thing known as Into the Borderlands, which is a
What's Into the
recreation.
Borderlands, Wiley?
Wow, why don't I tell you, Devin? It is a recreation of the original B1 and B2 modules from way back in my day. We didn't have D&D Beyond. We had books. And so Goodman Games made this recreation of those two modules. We've been playing it for near to an eternity, methinks. We basically finished B1, and now we're exploring and getting into homebrew country now. We have lots of stuff to learn. We have intrigue, romance. We've had arguments. We've had near-death experiences. It's been beautiful. And so let's go around the clock here. Let's go to my beside me to where Pavel is sitting. And Pavel, tell us about yourself.
Hello, my name is Devin, and I play Pavel. I shoot things with a bow and fuck up Wiley's encounters because I'm too strong.
Yes. Wiley, as a newer DM, Wiley's still learning encounter balance. And Wiley hasn't quite got it dialed in thanks to the Arcane Archer.
If it makes you feel any better, it's a completely unintentional munchkin, but
it's fun. We're having fun here, man. This isn't some kind of D by perfection. So let's keep going. How about right beneath Pavel, Lethiris? Tell us a little bit about you and your character.
Hi, I play Lethiris, the Minotaur Barbarian, good old farm boy, and apparently our designated emotional support Minotaur.
Yes. Here on Castle Macolites, we have that employee health assistance programs, EAP, and Lethiris is our emotional support Minotaur. Yes. Keep going.
Level 5, and I additionally mess up Wiley's encounters by being too strong.
Yes, you do. But
strong
I'm not
boys.
here as a party-killing DM. I'm here for the love and the fun. Very nice. So very good. Lethiris. How about old Flint? Right there, bottom center square on Hollywood Squares.
Well, I'm Shannon, Channel-Logic across all the internet, and I play Flint, the Earth Genasi Dumpster Fire Ranger. And I mess up Wiley's encounters by doing stupid shit.
Oh, Flint. How about we go to Harlow now, bottom right corner.
Hi, I'm Miss Misery, and I'm playing Harlow, the golden tiefling warlock who just stands there and looks pretty, while occasionally shooting shit out of her hands.
That she does. Purple things and stuff and so forth. And finally, last but not least, our long-awaited return of our dear friend, likes the villain on all the internets, playing Lyala Bright. Tell us about your character.
Hello, I'm Sheena. I'm Likes the Villain across the internets, like Wiley said, and I play Lyala Bright, who is a half-elf war cleric of Tritherion. And I guess if Lethiris is the emotional support Minotaur, does that make me the Teledoc?
Yes.
That's fair.
100%.
As I recall, you're our official decapitator.
That is true, yes.
Lyala the headbringer or something. Head taker.
Head taker.
Yeah, so you and that mighty axe of yours. So, yeah, so it's really awesome to have the gang all here after several sessions. Very exciting, really, yeah. So, last time we were hanging out was about a month ago. We were in the trading village of Stonemeat. We're in the setting Greyhawk. We're in the currently in the kingdom of Nyrond, near the Flinty Hills. And the party was in this small village, Stonemeat. They had met in the Drunken Pixie Diner. They'd run across a few locals, met the local constable. There seems to be some trouble afoot in the area of Stonemeat east along the trade road to Nurl. There was a near, like a mugging. There was a group of merchants, a family of halflings that were mugged and robbed on the road. And there's also a small merchant caravan that's a couple of days late to town. And the constable has put up a kind of a help wanted or reward poster offering some gold pieces to anyone willing to go out and see if they can figure out what's going on the trade road. Before anybody's agreed to take on any tasks or anything, the party stumbled into the the tack and goods store here in Stonemeat, and they were kind of wheeling and dealing on some magic items with one Clay and Delilah Caramo, a very pleasant couple of gnomes who run the Stone Stall Tack and Goods business. And I believe it was kind of towards the end of that interaction, the purchase of magic items, the procurement of one interesting mace on the part of Flint. And I think that's kind of where we're going to pick things up, is sort of at the end of that encounter, about to take a long rest. So a couple of items. If you support the channel with bits, I believe 500 bits will get the group a divine advantage. You can select advantage on an upcoming D20 before you make the roll. And speaking of rolling, we are using these curious little things called polyhedron dice. Rather than roll 20, we're kind of going old school, partially because of my lack of technical expertise and equipment. We're going no D&D Beyond, no roll 20, no maps. We're going theater of the mind, and special nice metal shinies. So with that, let us focus ourselves in upon the small little village of Stonemeat. And I believe the entire party is still in the Stone Stall Tack and Goods. Does that sound about right?
Sure.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I've gotten everything I need.
yeah, first of all, did we put down a deposit for that bag of holding, or did we just purchase it?
No, you purchased it outright.
Okay, do you remember how much that was? Like how much I contributed?
The purchase of the bag of holding, they were going to give you a break. If you would agree to explore and possibly bring an end to whatever's going on the road east of Stonemeat, they would knock 200 gold off the price from 2,300 to 2,100.
Okay.
And then you also have the use of a rather fancy mace.
We rented a mace of disruption.
And
Right.
they've rented a mace of disruption for 1,000 gold. It's a deposit. So if you bring the mace back in working order, you'll get your 1,000 gold back. Or you could put it toward the purchase of the mace, which I believe the price was 8,000 gold.
It was pretty expensive.
Yeah, that's a kind of a significant thing.
Or
it has this beautiful filigreed, inlaid, holy symbol of Ilana, the unicorn horns, in the shaft. Really pretty.
Or we'll all die and they'll lose it
All right.
forever.
I'm just trying. I didn't know we purchased it outright last time, so I'm trying to figure out how much Letherius has contributed to buying the bag of holding. So I don't quite remember.
Probably
how
a
much...
lot. You have the most gold.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
wondering.
paid for it outright. You traded the gold tiles in mostly.
Okay, so I just straight up bought it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was 2,000 even, or
2,100.
2,100.
Yeah, assuming you're going to
Remove.
accept the task, they're willing to, as a important member of the business community, they're willing to kick in to help defray your costs, give you a little reward. They give you a break on that bag of holding if you take on the task of investigating whatever is going on.
Okay, I'm gonna agree with that assumption. All right, now that's out of the way. What was the array of large weapons and shields that were available?
Right. So you could find anywhere from a couple of great axes, spears. There's one large shield that's banded around wood that would function nicely for you. There's a great sword. There's a couple of long swords. Again, if you recall, the selection here was a lot surprising given the remote nature of where this town is, which is literally in the middle of nowhere, 2 trade routes, crossing. Yet here they have, a selection of magic items, tack and harness, weapons, and so forth, that, tools, supplies that you wouldn't expect to see this far out from a major city.
All right, is there anything above +1?
No, as far as magical weapons, no, everything is kind of capped at +1.
All right. In that case, I don't need any magical items, but I do require a pair of pants and a shirt.
Okay. Yep. You can
So-
certainly search through the adventuring gear and
Mhm.
find large enough items that Lethyrus would be
All right.
comfortable yet stylish.
No
How
more
much did that run me?
comfortable as Daisy Dukes.
Your full set of clothes, like a nice maybe leather pants, wool tunic, sort of a combination. You
Yeah.
could find something because you're a little larger, a lot more material. It would cost a total of 2 gold.
2 gold, that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah, I got myself some pants now and a shirt.
We all appreciate that very much.
So do I. And I think that's it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I just bought the 2 Tinkerer's kits and the Scribe kit or whatever, the
Yeah.
Writer's kit.
Mm-hmm. Sounds
So
right.
I'm good.
Yeah, you had a little shopping mission,
Mm-hmm.
if memory serves.
Indeed, I did.
Does our head taker want anything?
No, I can't think of anything I need right now.
Okay.
All right then.
Well, if you're done in the stone stall attacking goods, the Karamos bid you a fond adieu. Thank you for doing business with them, of course. Lovely to have some coin in hand after selling their wares.
Yeah.
And so, what would you like to do now in the village? It's dark, obviously. It's evening.
We need to go back to the Drunken Pixie.
Yes.
Yeah. Pavel has to talk to his new friend.
I wouldn't call him a friend, but he's a
Your new
person.
weirdo?
Yeah, that's more like it.
Okay.
Yeah. As eager as I am to just get on the road and get this over with, I think we probably deserve some rest.
Good night's sleep is a good start to the day. And
Yeah.
in the inn, we won't have to do watch.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
think so, right?
And if you recall, the Drunken Pixie is west of town, just half a mile out on the road. Easy enough to get back there without any issues. You can find your way back into the Drunken Pixie. You're greeted once again with a warm hello from Helena Gale. Oh, hello! Welcome back to the Drunken Pixie, my friends. What can I get for you? Please, please come in. Close the door.
I don't think we'd purchased rooms earlier.
Ah, very well. Well, we're mostly a pub, but we do have a small guest house we could certainly put you up in for the evening. That wouldn't be a problem.
Rooms are just sort of a big sleeping area.
There's actually, let me see. Yes, there's 3 rooms in the house. They're all fairly decent sized. We just have it set up for sleeping quarters. There's no in a place privy, if you will.
What do you guys think? How many?
Works for us.
Sounds good.
Just all 3?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll take 3 for a night.
All
Pretty
right.
well. You can rent the whole home for the evening for 10 silver.
I'll just hand her 10 silver.
All
Very
right.
well, very well. She kind of clinks it around in her hands and drops it somewhere in the area of there.
Folding.
Yes, that's the one. Man, are you hungry? Do you wish to have another meal? Anything to drink I can get you? We can have hot water run if anyone wishes to clean up.
I'm fine for the
Oh,
moment,
sounds
thank you.
good.
Very well.
I'm all right.
You notice around the inn, things have quieted down. There was a bit of a hullabaloo with that little halfling family that was in there dealing with the mugging and the constable and so forth. The constable is in there at the bar having an ale, talking to what you would assume to be a couple of locals. Pavel, you do see Dilius Karamo,
Yep,
your artificer friend,
Yeah.
tinkering with something at the table.
I'm gonna walk up to him.
He looks up. Oh, very nice to see you again.
I got what you asked
Have any
for.
luck at the
I did.
attack? And
I did.
very nice.
Meet me in the guest house. I'll give it to you there.
Guest house. Very well. Yeah. When should I do that?
20 minutes.
Very well. I will do so.
Alright. And I'm gonna go sit down with the rest of everyone.
Okay. He goes back about his business, and Helena comes to the table. What can I get you all this evening?
Wine, please.
A glass of Elvish wine, is it?
Yeah.
Or regular wine? Elvish wine, very nice. Okay.
I'll have the same.
2 Elvish wines.
Yeah, sure. Same.
Okay, make that 3.
I'm good. I'm fine.
Very well. Shall I just bring a bottle of Elvish wine? It's just 4 silver.
Yes.
Okay. Did you say you wanted an ale, Pavel?
No, I said wine.
Wine. That's right. And for you. She looks at Flint.
What is your strongest alcoholic beverage?
Oh no.
Oh,
Okay.
that would
Oh no.
probably be our grog. We could get you a tankard for a silver piece.
Sure thing.
Very well. So a tankard and a bottle of Elvish wine, 3 glasses.
And behind Flint, I'm just kind of going.
Very well. Okay. Oh, does there be anything to eat? Once again, we have the breakfast. We serve breakfast all the time. It's a big, giant omelet with veggies and cheese. We have our sweet plate with the sweet bread and strawberries and thick cream on that.
I think that'll be fine.
The sweet plate?
No,
or
just
just
I
the
don't
drink?
think we're hungry.
Very well. She kind of hustles off to get your beverages together.
I want to be to bed early, so
Yeah.
just faster we can get out of here. She's a talker.
Yes. So she comes back out a couple moments later with a pained expression on her face as she brings out the bottle of wine. She sets out 3 glasses, pours it, and you notice a tankard, and she thumps it down in front of you, Flint. Oh, my apologies. It seems we're out of the grog.
Okay, what is this then?
Water? Because I thought maybe you'd like water.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Hydration is very important.
Yes, indeed it is. Water it is then. Alrighty, well, I'll leave you to your business. And she kind of nervously scuttles away.
Turn to Harlow knowingly.
What? Want some wine? You'd have half my glass.
I'll stick with water, thanks. Apparently, it's for the best.
Fighting hungover is never a good idea. You need to be hydrated, especially to be at the top of your game.
Yeah, that's true.
Harlow chugs her glass of wine.
I was told that, well, at least I'd read in some stories that when you're dealing with heartbreak, it is best to drink your feelings away. So
I can
was
tell
just
you that
trying to
that's a
keep
really
that
bad
away.
idea. Don't do that.
That just leads to more mistakes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Literature has never led me astray.
I can tell
Just
you
every frickin'
from
time.
from personal experience, don't do that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Drinking sorrow away does not work well. I tried it. I first got out on my own. All I got were a lot of hangovers, some bruises, and I got kicked out of 2 wins. And I broke a nail. Just don't do it.
Yes, that sounds terrible. I would hate to break a nail. Just look
Tragic,
at
really.
Context.
So, what are our plans for tomorrow? Should we investigate the trade route, or, I mean, are we heading to the mine? My vote's the mine.
We said we'd look into the ogres, so or the orcs,
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
they were.
The problem is, we don't know what's going to happen in the mine.
Mhm.
There's a chance that it could lead us to something totally other, and we won't come back. Or at least not for a very long time. These people need clearly some immediate help. And I do want to take care of this problem at the mines, obviously. I think we're all in agreement on that. But
I think it's all connected.
I would hate to leave people in the lurch that we can help.
Oh, yeah. Plus, we gave them our word. based on like our discounted price on that fancy bag, that would help them out. I'd hate to, be a liar.
If they weren't so generous with the rental of this surprisingly articulate weapon, I would say to just take it and run, but I suppose that's not the kindest action.
No.
Karma will always come back to bite you in the ass.
That does seem to happen quite a lot, doesn't it?
Not always to the people that deserve it.
I'm gonna drain my glass and stand up. I'm gonna go take the stuff to the rooms at least. I'll meet you guys there.
Okay.
All right, say hi to Bill for me.
Yeah, I'll give him a scratch. And as I walk out, and I walk past Bill and give him a nice under the chin.
He nods. Like they will. Kind of lifts his head. Yeah.
Good
They've
old.
staked him down. You can see they've got water, and there's signs that they've fed him as well. So he seems to be in excellent shape.
Good. Yep, and I'm gonna go take the stuff to the guest house or whatever.
Okay.
And wait for
Yes.
Dilius.
Yeah, let's play that out. We'll say that the remaining party in the inn or in the tap room there in the pub, just not like 3 minutes after Pavel departs, a hooded figure comes in, kind of a slight, slender build, goes right to the bar, sits down, and immediately is engaged. Helena meets the person, and they're ordering, talking something, you presume. So let's go to Pavel. You're going to go to the guest house?
I am.
Can I have a
Okay,
quick
so-
clarification question?
Please.
Harlow, do you have the bag of holding, or do I have the bag of holding?
No, you've got it.
I've got it. Excellent. I'll add that to my inventory. Carry on.
Excellent, Smithers.
Mm.
Okay. So, Pavel, you go out to the guest house, and no surprise, your friend Dilius Karamo is out there expectingly waiting for you.
Yep.
Ah, yes, good to see you.
Hi, Dilius. Here you
So,
go.
did you have any luck?
Yep,
Oh.
I take one out and hand it to him.
Ah, this is perfect.
Yeah, I actually got one for myself, too, because this seems interesting.
Ah, a fellow tinkerer then. Very nice.
I wouldn't say that. It just seemed interesting. I'll have to play around with it a little bit to see if I can do anything with it.
He's looking you over. He's kind of got this tick, where he kind of plays with his little scruffy beard, and he's, very curiously looking you over. Yes, yeah. And he pulls out a sack, and it has something in it. And he opens the sack, and you can hear kind of the clank of metal on metal, items and things. And he pulls out this contraption that he grabs it, and it looks like there's kind of a wrap around this side, and it looks like it's got an arm back this way that something might sit in, and you kind of grip it. And he's here, it's my latest. I think it will work.
What is it?
And he hands it to you. You put your hand here, and he shows you how to grip it. It's a launcher, a ranged weapon, if you will. It's meant to launch like a flaming vial of anything, or perhaps even alchemist fire.
How about
And his eyes get really big.
How about a stone?
I suppose you could use a stone in it, but
I'm
why
gonna
not light something on fire and fling it?
I'm gonna hold my hand up. I'll step outside, pick up a stone. I assume it's like a slingshot, basically.
Yeah,
Okay,
kind of like a little catapult,
Yeah.
launcher thing. And you can, there's a trigger.
Yep.
And you can see like a little leather, thong that goes over a hook, like a catch.
Yeah.
And then you can see what looks like maybe a device that would pull the leather thong away and release there's a spring.
I'll pop the stone, aim, pull the trigger.
Okay. Roll me a percentile dice, please.
A percentile dice. Don't get a chance to use them very often.
Right? Let's get some percentile action.
73.
Okay. So with a 73 on your percentile dice, you notice the stone goes mostly straight up in the air and drops about 10 feet in front of you.
How high did it go?
It went fairly high, fairly high in the air. Yeah, it disappeared because it's dark. And then thud, it drops.
I'll walk back to him. It'll take some getting used to, but yeah.
The stone is much too light. You need something heavier. Something on fire would be best, I think. Yes, the flaming part is the really, the alchemy fire, they wouldn't know it was alchemy fire until it got there. But if you put something, and you lit it on fire and you set it in there and it would be surprising and it would look amazing and burn them.
Dilius,
yes.
I understand.
I call it an alchemy fire launcher.
Makes sense. Right on the nose.
You can have it.
Are you sure?
I'm making another one. I have the drawings and everything.
Okay. Thank you.
Be careful, because I haven't tried it with anything on fire yet, but it's meant for fire. Very important.
Gotcha.
Are you sure?
Am I sure about what?
That it's meant for fire, and he says it like you're an idiot.
Yes, you've said that multiple times.
Okay, because I don't feel confident that... Okay. Okay. Well, I have new tools to use, so I'm gonna... And he just walks off, like, completely distracted.
Yep.
In his new tools.
Bye, Dilius.
All right, then. Bye.
I'm gonna just, sit down on my bed, gosh.
And it's a voice in the dark. He's scuttled away so quickly that...
oh, man, I might have done something wrong giving him that.
Yeah. Well, you seem to recall that he couldn't be completely honest about why he couldn't just go to the store himself and buy it.
No, I remember that.
From his brother, yeah. You may have done Stone Meat greater harm than you've done Dilius harm. Okay, so you're in the guest house now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so clean, tidy, very Spartan. There's a kind of an entry room where there's a table and 6 chairs around the table. You can see there's a candle holder with a candle that's been melted down. There's windows on the walls and so forth. And then you can see doorways into 3, what you presume to be the sleeping rooms.
Yep.
And then a small privy kind of attached to the back of the place that you could use for such business.
Okay. So for the rest of the evening, I will lay out a piece of cloth and a notebook, and I will start disassembling the launcher while making careful notes on how it's put together. And then I would like to, when I'm done with that, I would like to try to put it back together using my new tinker tools, which I am not proficient with, but...
Right. Okay. Very good. So, Pavel is gone. You're in the tap room at the Drunken Pixie. The evening wears on. As you're sitting there, the constable makes his way over to the table, and he takes off his rather, I don't know, foppish, but odd, rustic, apparently his constable hat. And he takes it off, and he looks at Lethyrus, and he, this awkward bow. Again, I do apologize for my behavior earlier, ma'am.
Sir.
Shit. I do apologize. Not getting better, is it? At any rate,
I think you might want to quit while you're hit.
Yes, and I'll just get to my business. You could tell he's a little, he's got a part of a package going, from his ale. So I just came by to see if you all would be officially then going to be looking into that matter along the road to the east of town. With the concerns we have with the mugging and we're missing that caravan. You could it's almost like he's choosing his words very carefully, trying to be.
Yes, we will be leaving tomorrow to take a look into it.
Very well. Will there be anything you'd be needing?
Do you have any maps of the area?
I think we can rustle something up for you. Yeah, if you would stop by the constabulary on your way out of town, we'll have something for you.
Perfect.
And he pulls out 5 pouches and sets them on the table. There would be your payment, as agreed on the poster on our compensation before, 25 gold per person. for looking into this, and I believe the Karamos were able to give you also a bit of an incentive in the stone stall. So I'll be moving on then, but very, very happy that you could help us out. And we look forward to your return and success tomorrow. And he kind of backs up and awkwardly goes back to the bar. He sits down and he's like, okay, relieved. That's over.
Are these normal social interactions? I have nothing really to base this on.
Oh, he's terrified of Lethyrus.
Yeah.
Is that a normal thing? To just be terrified of the people that you're doing business with?
Depends on the people.
That's a fair point, I guess.
Cyrus is rather large. That does tend to make people nervous.
And he was angry when the last time he dealt with him.
Yeah, I
I
kind
don't
of.
understand the whole large thing, though. That just
I-
makes you an easier target when shooting.
Well,
If anything, it's the small ones you can't trust.
well, Flynn, I wish it wasn't the case, but unfortunately, I am aware my largeness sometimes is a put off to people. But I
you're
think he's mostly nervous because I yelled at him.
Anxiety makes less and less sense to me the more time I spend in it.
It's best just not to think about it.
Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
I can't not think about it. It's just everywhere, all-consuming, torturous.
I hand her my glass of wine, which is basically empty, but there's some wine in it.
I've learned I don't like wine. It's too grapey.
Okay, more wine for Harlow.
Yeah, and it's a decent wine. You've had better, especially being raised in Rolastra, access to the finer things, noble merchant family, and so forth. But it's okay,
Drinkable, she's pleased.
Your water is quite nice, Flint. You know good from bad. It's very nice water. Tankard's quite clean.
Refreshing.
Glad that the
Sounds like we're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel for good things about water.
That's what I got.
Certainly doesn't taste like someone's been bathing in it, which I've had the misfortune of drinking before.
Yes, this is
Ew.
far cry.
Yeah,
This is good.
Bath water.
Good well water. Yeah, they have good groundwater here.
Yeah. Trough water's not so good either.
Well, yeah, I bathed in that.
That's true. You did bathe in that.
Yeah, you
I
shouldn't have
remember
drunk
that.
it.
I didn't drink your trough water.
Oh.
What is
I thought-
everyone's?
I thought we were having a bonding moment. I guess I was wrong.
Well, I remember we can bond over the fact that I remember you bathing in a trough, if that helps any.
Nah, the moment's gone.
All right.
And it's gone. What is everyone's passive perception?
Passive.
I'm not there, so
Wait, yeah, 15.
15.
18.
No.
Wait, passives without the modifier, right?
it should say it on your thing.
Yeah, there should be
Yeah,
a place on your sheet for.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Then it's definitely 15 then.
Okay, very nice. Lyala, was that you with an 18? Did I hear that?
Yes.
Ooh.
So as you four are sitting around your table discussing wine and Flint and bathing and so forth, you notice at the bar the person who wandered in earlier has removed their hood. Their back is to you, but they've pulled the hood back, and you have this beautiful reddish, rusty hair kind of cascades down over the.
Shit.
Somebody grab Flint first.
Flint's not doing anything.
Oh God!
Flynn doesn't notice yet.
Yeah,
Flint's not
I'll know.
perceptive enough.
I'm gonna just elbow Harlow and draw her attention to the now not hooded figure. Does that look familiar to you?
I'll just kind of lean over into her ears, like, She hurt Flint. Should we kill her?
Hang on, do you
You
know?
could
for
at
a
least hurt her
fact-
back.
Wait, do you know for a fact that's her though?
And we don't know if she really hurt Flint. Flint's just making a lot of assumptions.
Yes, we could. It could just be a red-haired lady. Gotta do some recon here.
Okay. Put my drink down. And Harlow's pretty much half drunk at this point. She's gonna sway over.
Oh no.
Ale going. Just gonna come up in the bar and order another glass of wine.
Okay.
I'm just gonna look over and see who it is.
Roll me a wisdom.
Not going to go well.
In fact, go ahead and make it perception.
Oh, I'm so lucky. I love these now. Perception, so +1, so that's 19.
Okay. She definitely looks familiar from a side profile. And she looks over at you, and you recognize her immediately. And she motions you back towards your table, and then kind of shows you a finger like, I'll be there in a minute.
Take my wine, go back over.
And she nods. Doesn't look
Exaggerating.
alarmed, doesn't look threatening, just very cool. She nods. You know, she sees that you recognize her and kind of nods, like, and then she gives you like, I'll be there in just a minute.
She'll walk over with her glass and just put it right in front of Flint and just say, I'm very sorry.
Why?
That bard's here. She's gonna be here in a minute.
What bard?
Killind. Is it Killind?
It's Kaylin.
Kaylin. Yeah.
Killind.
Lila, what are you doing?
I'm gonna probably get my hand on a dagger just in case she pulls anything.
Are you still watching?
I'm watching.
Iris, what are you doing?
Well, Aetherius was writing in his journal and drawing something, but upon hearing the words, "It's the bard," he looks up and just looks at Flint, looks at Kaylin in the back, looks at Harl, and now is just staring quietly at Flint, waiting.
So Flint and Lila, roll me perception, please.
Oh boy. 13.
This person is in,
19.
you know, what's that?
19.
19. What about you, Lithurus?
Oh, thought you said only Flint and Lila.
Did I say Flint? I'm sorry, I meant Lithurus. Gee whiz,
Oh.
DM. Silly hobbit.
All right. You said perception?
Yes, please.
23.
Okay, so Lithurus, you notice that this individual appears to be casing the room, watching people, watching their interactions. You've noticed a curious look in your direction. And after a few minutes of that, she grabs her mug and approaches the table. And she looks at all of you and says, may I sit with you, please?
Glance at Flint.
And she smiles.
Just for reference, I have the tube, the scroll tube, and the stone.
Good.
Thank
No.
you.
Just pointing that out.
Thank you.
I don't see any harm.
All right. By all means.
Very well. She kind of sits down, leans in, and she looks around the room without trying to look too suspicious, but it's obvious she's kind of looking at the room. And nobody in there, now that she's been there for a while and there's been interaction, they must assume that you all know each other and they're no longer all that interested in her. And they all go back to their thing. I'll get right to it. First of all, it's good to see you all and see you well. And she smiled at Flint in particular. I've been looking for you.
Really?
You've been gone about long enough, but I'm not the only one looking for you. Zelweg and I have our suspicions about Lord Thennon, and I've come to warn you. We are concerned that he is up to something. And she kind of stops and thinks how she wants to put this. I don't have any tangible proof, but Zellweg and I followed him to a meeting with a curious, almost demonic-looking female. And he met with her. We were unable to get close enough to hear what was said, but she didn't look to be anyone I've ever seen in this area before.
Demonic how?
Demonic, her darker skin tones, looked like maybe her eyes were even red. Just didn't seem right to Zellweg or I. And so, having grown fond of the lot of you, we thought it best to separate and try to find you and warn you that we think something is up with Lord Thanon. And we're assuming it has something to do with the mission he sent you on. And so I'm here to warn you.
Can I do an insight check?
Absolutely.
Yeah, please.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna play it this way with the insight check. Let's do a group insight where everybody's rolling at advantage, because the four of you have such good mojo. You can read each other and read each other's reaction to what each of you is seeing in Kayland. So let's all roll with advantage. I'd like to think that chemistry is going to help each other insight her.
I'm very, very sorry.
27.
Mine was a 15.
22.
Are you sure that was with advantage, Lyola?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So she kind of stops and she's just, again, scans the room, takes a drink of her ale. Are you all right? Because she noticed you're all just kind of quietly regarding her, and she catches a sideways glance between a couple of you. What is it?
I mean no offense. I don't actually know you.
Well, yes, of course. I apologize. My name is Kayland, and I am the bard for Lord Thanon, who is the individual who hired your friends here to undertake a mission for him. And the rest I just told you, so I don't need to explain all that again. But
oh,
nice
you're Kayland. You're Kayland.
Yeah.
All right. Pleased to meet you. I'm Lathyrus.
It's nice to meet you, Lathyrus. You're a beautiful creature.
Thank you.
So off of the insight, Flint, you recognize a seriousness in her you've seen once before. Okay. Who had my 27? Lyola?
Yeah.
Your spidey sense, your, the gift of Tritherion, you're a cleric of the war domain, right? You have a way of sensing intention to do harm and so forth, and you're getting nothing of the sort. In fact, quite the opposite. No one is noticing any odd behavior that would be not customary to her demeanor.
We may have been naive in the beginning, accepting Lord Thanon's words as truth, not questioning it, not questioning your loyalties.
Of course, you had no reason to question any of this.
We've lost Stoneheart because of unquestioning loyalty.
No.
We're not going to make that mistake again. Why?
What happened?
Did we trust you?
Well, you trusted me because I trusted Lord Thanon, and I am a bard in his service doing his bidding, and that's why we brought you to High Meadow Manor. And what happened with Stoneheart?
Do you even really care?
Of course I care.
You've known us for less than a day. How much
You seem like decent folk.
care?
You've been kind to me. Why wouldn't I care? Oh, I don't care like you're my children. like if I had children, because I clearly don't have children. Of course I care. And again, as this is unfolding, she doesn't seem desperate to help you understand. She doesn't seem anything that would lead you to believe she's being misleading. And again, Flint, you in particular are definitely catching that serious vibe, not romantic, just serious vulnerability from her. Listen, you can do what you will with my warning. I pray you take heed. I fear you may be hunted by someone other than Zoeg and myself. Fannin has many agents. I would hate to hear of any harm. I'm sorry?
Who would he send after us?
Oh, he has rangers and soldiers and no end of things. He's deep into politics of the area, and now having seen him meeting with this woman, she had a curious symbol upon her robes. I tried to sketch it out a little bit. Not sure how successful I was. Let me see if I can't. And she rummages through a pouch in her cloak. And as she rummages, I'll pull up the file I'm trying to stick in Discord. So picture her rummaging. But the robe had a curious symbol that neither Zellweg or I recognized. And it's in the Discord.
You've seen it before, haven't we?
So if you wish to look at the Discord, that's the symbol she produces.
That looks very familiar.
You're in the house.
It's almost like I've been showing people that symbol for
yeah.
a while.
Mm-hmm.
So
look at that, right on the first page of the notebook.
Yeah. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know if it's a clan, an omen, a faction, an army, a state, but something is going on with Thanon, and Zellweg and I have known him long enough to know that whatever he sent you to do or retrieve, wouldn't surprise me if it had something to do with whatever else is going on. Those orcs continue to amass east of the village whose name I can't recall.
Wasn't it Edgefield?
That's the one. Thank you.
Maybe one of us should get Pavel if this is involving everything.
Where is Pavel? She kind of looks around.
Otherwise occupied.
Maybe we should take this to a more private setting.
That would be a wonderful idea.
That's a good idea. Perhaps we could take this to Pavel, kill two birds with one stone, so to speak.
She stands and moves her hand to her hip, draws her longsword and lays it on the table. Draws her dagger, lays it on the table. Please, Flint, take these. Again, I'm here to be helpful. I'll go with you to whatever place you have where we can speak, where there's some privacy.
I grab the weapons, and I stand up, and I start leading the way.
All right.
She walks among you. Rather than waiting for everyone to go first or anything like that, she'll follow right behind Flint.
Yes, unless something happens between here and the house, we make it to the house, okay?
Yes, it does. I mean, yes, you do. Nothing happens. Yeah.
He didn't ask us for a marching order, so I kind of took that as a sign that nothing happened.
Yeah. No problem. Obviously, she's trying to, without seeming desperate, put herself at your mercy. You've been adventuring long enough to know that no sane person would probably just pull their weapons out, give them away, unless they trusted you or really had something cool cooked up, which the DM would never do. Okay, so Pavel, you're sitting in the house, you're tinkering and untinkering and writing, and the door opens, and in comes Flint with a longsword and a dagger, and behind Flint comes Kayland, and behind Kayland comes the remainder of your party, and I assume they enter and close the door.
I immediately stand up with a hand on my rapier handle.
We have a
Ah,
guest.
Pavel, good to
She's
see
given
you.
her weapons to Flint.
Flint has my blades.
So, you come here to capture us? You're not doing a very good job.
That's because I'm not here to capture you. I'm here to warn you. I'm concerned about Lord Thanon, and she'll quickly relay her story precisely as she told it in the tap room.
What do you foresay?
Show him the symbol.
Yeah, she'll pull out the piece of paper and put it on the table. She takes a drink of her ale, sets it down.
And you said Lord Thanon was talking to the person who had this on their clothing?
Symbol was on this demon woman creature, their robe. Zellwig and I did not recognize what this woman represents. We do not know what was said. It was a meeting that took some time. It was away from High Meadow Manor, but we felt that we needed to find you, and that the challenge is we have to get back to High Meadow Manor so that we're not missed.
Well, I have a few questions for you.
Yes. Let me just say, I am grieved to learn of Stoneheart's passing.
I'll accept
Sorry.
your condolences depending on how this goes.
Fair enough. How may I help? How may I answer your questions?
First of all, how long have you been working for Lord Thanon?
We've been with Lord Thanon for years. I don't recall what she told you when you met, but it was probably 20 years or more for her. Not quite as long for Zellwig, but a long time. We've been in the service of Lord Thanon for years.
And you just now started to suspect Lord Thanon of wrongdoing?
I don't know what he's doing at all. I just know between the orcs assembling outside of Edgefield, this meeting he took with this person, his demeanor and his, I wouldn't say nervousness, but he's been quite expectant. Almost immediately, starting within days of your departure.
Now, Lord Thanon was quite open about the fact that he was Zeligar's child, the son of Zeligar.
Yes.
I assume you were aware of his claim.
That's what he's always said, yes? Is
Now,
that something you believe to not be true?
Oh, indeed. Zeligar died quite a long time ago. Do you know of Lord Thanon to be any sort of great wizard or of mixed elvish descent, perhaps?
He's not elvish, I can assure you of that.
Then how could he possibly be Zeligar's son? He would be hundreds of years old.
Well, there are magical means, of course. I know Thanon to be what I know him to be, but I no longer... I suspect something is up. There's a lot of movement politically in the area with the Great Northern Kingdom of Erde, with his cousin, who's with the family that rules the Great Northern Kingdom, with the orcs, with this strange meeting. Things are not making sense. We thought it was odd that he would pull people from the four random corners of the area to come and do this task that seemed so important to him without bringing Zellwig and I closer counsel.
And you didn't ask him about it?
We serve at his pleasure. He is the Lord of the Manor. We've never really had reason to question him in the past. But Zellwig and I thought it was curious. And when you start to, you're looking at this from the perspective of here's all the things you're seeing in a short period of time. These are things we've noticed over time that are starting to not add up against all the things we've known Lord Thanon to be since we've been in his employ. So your line of question and your suspicions are well-founded, and you're wise to be suspicious. As was stated in the tap room, you've only known us a day or less. You've no reason not to think I'm not in league with Lord Thanon, whatever is afoot.
What, and on that note, what guarantee can you give me that you're not?
Well, I do have my word. I would pledge my assistance to you should he come hunt you and seek to do you harm. But Zellweg and I will need to get back to High Meadow.
Where is Zellweg?
He is out looking. I came west. He went east, further up into the east of here, more north into the Flint Hills, in the direction of your trip. I came west. But we need to meet back at High Meadow soon so that we don't arouse suspicion for being gone. I will just say this. I will pledge that you have an ally, should you need one, back at High Meadow.
Is Lord Thanon looking for them yet?
I think it's safe to assume that, given you've been gone for 3 weeks, his expectation of your return is that you should be back soon. Obviously, with him not knowing precisely what you were going to be doing, what you're in for, I don't even know what it is, really. He's obviously having to wait and give you sufficient time, but I think he's expecting you to return within the week or so. Soon.
All right.
I don't like this.
If you don't mind, I'd like to speak with everyone alone for a moment, if you'd like to step outside.
Very well. Before I do, and she reaches in her cloak again, very slowly, calmly, takes off 2 amulets, matching, and she sets one on the table. This will enable us to communicate. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the spell, I believe it is message. Sending.
Sending stones?
Sending.
Yes. We can communicate with these. Very short, brief messages. I have one. She puts it back on. You have one. They don't have the ability to scry upon one another, but if you concentrate on me and hold the stone, once you're attuned to it, we can communicate back and forth with them.
Ooh, she gave you her number.
And she kind of bows before the group, steps outside. I will leave my weapons with you. I will be right outside that door, mostly for my own safety. And I will be watching the road, as I've been doing. And she slips outside.
All right.
I don't
What
know.
do you guys think?
She
Don't
seems
know.
clear.
Yeah, I mean, she seems to be tell him the truth, in my opinion, but I'm not as entrenched in all this as you are.
Yeah, but that's words. You know, we don't know. Not really.
Bro.
No matter what, we know for sure that Lord Thannon's into some shit.
And at this point,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if she knows we're here. Because, I mean, if she's got a sending stone, who's to say she hasn't already contacted Lord Thanon about our location?
Mm.
What's that saying? Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Do you want to take her with us? She said she had to go back.
No, I just mean we accept her contact. But we do so warily.
I think that was kind of a foregone conclusion. Warily.
Really. I think that might be the right choice. If she's telling the truth, then I think we could use her help. But if she's lying, then we're probably not much worse off than we already are.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, after we take care of these orcs or ogres, whatever they are, and we hit that mine, we die there. We'll make it difficult for him to go find his stuff.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I think this is something we're going to have to deal with pretty soon. I don't like the thought of continually being hunted.
No, you're right.
No do I.
But
We get to it.
we've got obligations first.
Mm-hmm. As far as he's concerned, if his people do find us that aren't her, you can just tell him we're taking care of some business for Stoneheart.
Yeah. If that doesn't work, they'll just not show back up. It's dangerous times we're living in out here.
Terribly dangerous. Who knows what's on the road?
Arrows come out of nowhere nowadays.
Mm-hmm. And large rocks.
True.
So we will cautiously accept her help at the moment.
Okay, do you invite her back into the...
Yeah,
guest house?
I'll go stand up and open the door.
Okay. She appears in the doorway. Have you come to some conclusion?
Yes. We're going to trust you. For now.
Yes.
But this is... You have one chance. I hope you understand that.
Could I ask, why is it that you're so distrustful of me and Lord Thanon? What have you learned, if anything, that would lead you to the... Why are you not just simply returning from your mission that was assigned to happily bring to him whatever it is he was seeking, if I may ask?
What he was having us quest after was a lot more powerful than he let on. And with the fact that he was so willing to lie about his identity, as we think he is, it's too risky to give him this item.
So you were successful.
Potentially. We at least found information about it.
Roll persuasion.
Persuasion? Sweet. I got a -1 in that.
Oh, Lord.
19. So 18.
I see. My sense is that there's more here than meets the eye.
I'm just going to hold my hand up.
Yeah.
You can sense whatever you want. But this is the end of the conversation. If you have any information about people coming after us, you tell us.
Let me share what I know, and I'll be on my way. She seems a little disappointed. I don't know for a fact anyone is hunting you, but it won't surprise me whatsoever that Thanon probably has people out looking for you. So if you have anything visible on you that would identify you as from the house of High Meadow Manor, anything that would associate you with Lord Thanon, please, if you have any visage of his symbol anywhere, put that away, destroy it. And anything you can do to not look precisely as you did when you left. I hate to even say it, and she kind of stops and takes a deep breath. I suppose not having the dwarf among you, your party has changed. At any rate, keep your wits about you on the road. Keep your identities to yourselves. It's important, and she looks at Flint, for you to know a temple grove to the goddess Ilana was burned. The eastern edge of Adri Forest, not far from Edgefield. Something destroyed it. That's who does that? So something is going on in our area. There have been many stories of people killed, taken, not arriving from journeys along the trade road, anywhere from Neural west into the kingdom of Nyrond here to Stonemeat. I understand there's a caravan who was expected here 2 days ago that has not arrived. There are things happening. There's rumors of activities in the old black mine in the Blemu Hills. So whatever your business is beyond Lord Thanon's request, be careful. In fact, the third sending stone is with Zelwig. You can communicate to either of us. So perhaps that may be another way. I know all of you favored Zelwig and knew him longer than you knew me. And so if that's another way, if you wish to contact him, he can certainly corroborate my tale.
How much time do you think we have before he starts getting truly suspicious?
I would say if you're not back to High Meadow, if you're still out another 10 day and a half, I suspect Thanon would really put some energy into finding you. The fact that you're west and on the east-west trade road will help you, because most of his energy and focus will be bent upon the road up into the Flinty Hills, northwest of Neural.
Should we get her to tell him that she found us, but we're on the way to handle something personal before we come back? That
I
took
feel like
priority
the less
overall.
information we give, the better.
Yeah.
Do you think he'd accept that?
From my own feelings on him now, no.
And rich men tend not to accept things that don't work in their favor.
You're not wrong.
I will tell you
I know
this. Thanon uses Zelwig and the bards to bring him news, information, but he has not asked us to find you.
Which means he may have
So,
other means of doing
I'm
so.
out on. I'm
Sense
sorry.
motive.
Which,
Or
Wait,
which means
insight.
he may have other methods of doing it at this point.
Oh, absolutely. He doesn't necessarily need me in Zelwig, but if he is up to something other than his usual political merchant-related nobility, and she kind of rolls her eyes, if there's something going on other than that, he wouldn't ask Zelwig and I to participate. Zelwig and I would never. None of the bards would, and he knows that. Did you incite her again?
I incited her. I was about to. 14.
Okay. The only thing you got was that she saw through your partial information that you shared, and then you shut it down. She saw right through that. But you don't get any sense, kind of like I described to the other group, you don't get any sense that she's, behaving in a way that's would lead you to believe she's being deceptive.
Okay.
A lot of appropriate eye contact, very calm, but not like cool as a cucumber. Very same demeanor, but more serious, obviously, than she was when you first met.
I want you to know that it's not you we don't trust. It's the whole situation. We have to be cautious. So if we're being short-tempered or what's the word?
Hurt.
Yeah.
She looks at Flint and just looks down. I understand.
It's out of the fact that we don't understand fully the situation.
That is fair. Your wisdom here. It's funny how you describe yourselves as naive, maybe eager and anxious. And I saw that in you. But at that point in time, I never suspected anything. It just seemed odd that he would seek out random strangers from wherever to do this task for him.
I think he picked us to fail.
Perhaps, or he picked you to be able to deal with whatever you brought him back without you knowing. People who wouldn't suspect because they just wouldn't know. Clearly, you're a lot wiser and more clever than he anticipated or planned for. And frankly, you still have the upper hand in this. He doesn't know you're on to anything. I didn't know. I didn't frankly understand your suspicion. I expected a much warmer greeting. But based on what you shared with me, I don't question your suspicions at all. It saddens me, but I understand.
If there will be nothing else, I think you can leave.
Very well. Again, my deepest sorrow for your friend. He was a wonderful, kind-hearted dwarf. I'm glad I got to meet him.
Thank you.
And perhaps together we can help his life and his passing make sense and be more than just a life lived.
Thank you.
If it is all right with you, I'll retrieve my weapons.
I'll escort you out and give them to you once you're safely away from my friends.
That is fine. All right, then. I bid you farewell. Please be safe along the road. Trust no one. And if
Before
you need
she
to...
leaves, I just look at her and I give her a very earnest thank you. Really, for everything.
Yes, Lepidus, of course. I am confident we'll see each other again.
Yeah. Hopefully
If
under
things-
better circumstances.
Certainly, and if things begin to change, at High Meadow with Lord Thin, and anything I learn, we will pass along.
Thank you.
Would you like me to ask Selwig to message you when I see him again in several days, or would you prefer to make that contact yourself? I'm just merely trying to find a way to help ease your mind that there's nothing untoward.
I think we'll
Let
take the
him know to
initiative.
message us. I think we should let him know to message us.
Okay, yeah, sure. Go for it.
We have other things to be worrying about right now.
Okay.
Very well. I will see to it that he contacts you. And your stone rings. No, I'm just kidding. Very well. Then I should be on my way.
All right, I will open the door and lead her out a few yards away.
Okay. She walks out in silence.
I hand her weapons. But I also hand her the ring of protection. Stay
She
safe.
looks at it, kind of rolls it around in her hand.
You're in just as much danger now as we are. I don't want anything to happen to you.
She kind of wells up. Flint, I'm sorry if you feel you cannot trust me. But I will
Hopefully
earn
that
your
changes.
trust. I will earn your trust.
Stay safe, Kayland.
You as well. She'll kiss your hand, slip the ring into her cloak somewhere, turn and walk off into the night.
I'm gonna head back inside.
Okay.
So who wants to be in charge of contact between us and Kayland?
Do you think you can handle it?
I'll do it.
All right. Well, that's settled.
All right.
Just so I make sure I have my notes correct, you did ask her to have Zellwig reach out to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does this change things?
Change what?
You knew Selwig's and I was up with that is the shit. Never gonna have to deal with them eventually. But does this mean that we're moving it up quicker?
Well, right now our priority is understanding what's going on this trade route. That's a promise we made, and I guess we're going to keep it.
I think it's all connected. I think everything is connected to whatever is going on with Zellwig, Bannon, what's going on with that in the mine with that symbol.
Yes. It all seems too heinous to not be.
All this nasty stuff going on at once. Something's on the go. He might be the root of it, or he may just be a lackey.
I'd say lackey. This demonic figure, I think, is not maybe the one pulling the strings, but an intermediary.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is just a very large game of chess, and they are the pawns. I don't know who's playing the game, though.
Whatever it is, we know we got to keep the stone out of their hands.
Yeah.
Right. I still think we should have watch tonight.
Agreed.
We can't
I
let our
can-
guard down.
I understand. I'm gonna post Sonia outside as well, out on a branch somewhere. I'll keep watching here, but she'll stay out there too.
Okay. I'll take first watch.
I'll take second.
I'll take second as well.
Okay. Do you wish to do what, like 2-hour watches?
Sure.
That'll ensure everyone gets their 6+ hours long
yeah,
rest.
it's usually
Yeah.
four
Yeah.
watches, 4 sections of watch. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess Flint and I had the last watch.
The house that you're in, the guest house, the pub is the Drunken Pixie is right up on the road. It's on the south side of the road west of Stonemeat. The house is actually, and there's place to tie horses and so forth, kind of beside the pub. And the house is behind the pub, 30, 40 yards back. So you don't hear a lot of noise until all of you settle in for the night. And then you can hear, kind of wafting across the yard, the occasional clink of crockery, or you'll hear Helena's voice, laughter, maybe the constable, just everything sounds as if it should be, or as if it is as it should be. The yard itself around the pub is actually fenced with a wooden slat fence that's probably 6-7 feet high. Your guess would be to keep out critters and just riffraff that would wander up to the dwelling in the night. So it feels like a defensible, observable area. Sophia has no issues if she wants to sit on top of the house. There's a few large trees here and there. She could get into one of them. She could go on top of the pub. She could perch on the fence.
She's gonna
But
find
once
some
you send her out,
can't be visible.
yeah, she can easily hide in one of the trees, and she doesn't give you any indication there are any issues. The night will pass uneventfully, and so please long rest yourselves. The sending stones, or the sending stone that you have, is on a silver chain, and it's long enough that it would actually, be beneath your collarbone. It's a fairly long chain. So if you had a top on or anything that was buttoned up, it would hide it.
All right.
Nobody else wants to do anything on their watches. I did want to have a conversation with Flint on ours.
I was just tinkering.
Okay.
So that was tinkling. Tinkering.
Tinkling. Yeah, there's a privy around the back if you wish to tinkle.
Is there anything you want to do, Layla?
That's awesome.
No.
What is our usual shooting the shit?
Yeah.
Can you believe Kaylin?
I will start to sober up.
Gossip, braid each other's hair.
Totally.
Yeah.
Sleepover.
Sleepover. Alright, so Shan, what's Flint up to on our watch?
Flint's just kind of staring off into space,
Alright.
lost in thought.
Alright, so I am going to take out my now significantly smaller hunk of rosewood. I'm just gonna start, whittling on it again. Still making my little project. While I'm doing that, I'm just gonna glance at you, saying, "So, has this changed things for you in the sense of Kaylin?"
I don't know, I mean... We have other things to worry about right now, it's not important.
I don't know, it's important to you.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I am confused. I think I jumped into things a bit quickly, and I lost my head. I need to be careful.
Do you still have that letter you wrote her? That poem?
I burnt it.
You burnt it.
Or tore it up, I can't even remember. There are so many letters, so many poems.
Well, can't blame you for that, I guess.
It's just trivial nonsense. It doesn't matter, Latheris. We have bigger fish to fry.
Oh, yeah, I just want to make sure you're okay, and if there's a possibility of this working out, because I know you liked her, if not currently like her, then I'd like it for you to happen for you, you know?
You want to know something, Latheris?
Yeah.
I never should have left the woods.
Why?
Well, for all intents and purposes, my life would have remained the same. I wouldn't have found out that my parents were tortured. I wouldn't have lost a friend. I wouldn't be covered from head to toe in acid burns. And I wouldn't have to think about feelings.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
I
If
would
you
just
hadn't,
keep on surviving, and things would have been fine.
if you hadn't left the woods, none of that probably would have happened. But if you hadn't left the woods, then you wouldn't have met Harlow or Pablo or Lyola or me, for that matter. Now, I care about you a lot, and I know Harlow does. She thinks of you as a sister, and frankly, I do too. And I know Pablo and Lyola love you very much. We all want to help you find some semblance of happiness if we can.
I don't know if that's possible for someone like me, Latheris.
Sure, it is. We'll find it. We'll get you to it.
Just don't die trying, alright?
I can't promise that, but I can promise to try to not die trying.
I guess that'll work.
Yeah. I mean, I have no intention to die. I have plans. I have people I need to go back to. And I have people I need to protect now.
Ah, screw it. And I take out a dagger and I just cut off my ponytail and toss it into the whatever fireplace we have. We need to change how we look, Latheris. We need to change a lot of things.
Well, not to. I guess the hair probably will do it for you. I mean,
Can't really change the skin thing.
well, you didn't have the skin thing before, so
I've
that's.
always been this color.
No, I thought you meant the acid burns.
Well, that's different too, but I kind of forget about them sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, as terrible as they are, I mean, they must have been to get. They
Do they
do.
really look that bad?
No, I think they look cool actually.
Thanks, I guess.
Like I don't want to like. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that one. You probably look different enough where maybe just cutting your hair will do it. I mean, I don't know. I think disguise magic is a thing, but I'm pretty sure it's not practical for all of you to use all the time.
Nah, I need to get some better armor too, but strapped for cash, so
I I have money if you need some better armor.
maybe.
All right.
We'll see.
So,
Thanks for checking in.
Yeah. I also want to make sure you're okay. And I don't understand your exact situation with Kaylin. I I can understand enough.
I don't understand it either, Lethyrus. I really don't. I feel things.
Or
It's,
what kind of things?
you ever meet someone and you just want to make sure they're okay?
Yeah.
And you want to just be with them
Yeah.
and keep them safe and happy?
Mhm.
I thought that the second I saw her, and I don't know why. I've read so many books. My dad owned a damn bookstore. I've read everything in that store. Even the books I wasn't supposed to read. Nothing prepared me for that.
Yeah. I I know how that is. It can be intense. Um. Well, I know for one thing you like her. That right there is a big indication.
She's got more important things to think about than me, so I'm not
Maybe,
getting
but
my hopes up.
that doesn't mean she's not thinking about you.
It's elves live for a very long time, Lotharis. I'm just a blip on a line. It's nothing.
Well, can't go assuming her feelings. You know what they say about that.
You know what?
Makes that ass out of you and me.
What?
I knew that was gonna happen.
I don't get it.
If you assume someone's feelings without, you know, making sure, then you're both going to end up in a situation that could have been avoided if you didn't do that.
No, I get the gist of the thing, but like,
Right.
whatever. Let's just go back to whittling. I'm gonna stare pensively into the distance.
Oh, I never stopped. Alright. Alright. If that's what you want, I'm just gonna hum a little tune while I'm whittling away.
All right.
I think after a while, I'd probably just start drumming along.
Jam sesh.
Ish. It's
Brimstone in the grand blue sea. You've been robbed from me.
So y'all done with your watches, your
Yep.
conversation? Okay.
Mm-hmm. They're hard
All
to
right. So the sun comes up. You hear the familiar, late summer chirp chirp, birds, crickets, all that cool stuff.
Jazz.
Uneventful night. You're well rested. One of the better rests you've had, in beds, not on the ground,
Oh,
dry.
I bet Harlow was so happy.
Yeah.
She is. She is sleeping like a log.
When Pavel comes out, I have cut all my hair like super super short, and I've fully shaved off the beard.
When Harlow comes out, she's going to be wearing her old gloves again. You can't. Her skirt's long. She's wearing like a longer skirt. You can't see her tail. She's got her mask down, and she's veiled, so you can't see her skin color at all. You can just see the horns. And she's gonna wait for Flint to come out.
I come out and I just sort of have the bob haircut now. And I look relatively the same otherwise. Can't really change that.
Flint, can you take me for a walk? I'm not feeling well.
Sure. I don't understand why you need me to walk you, but I'm
Because
assuming there's an ulterior motive, as I've come to notice with these society things.
no, it's because I'm hungover and I might puke and I don't want to be by myself.
Ah, yes, the old girls going to the bathroom together trope. Yes, quite.
Just don't feed me any more bugs.
But they are delicious and nutritious, excellent sources of protein, and they crunch so good.
But I don't like them.
They crunch so good.
They crunch so good.
Yeah. Alright, well, let's go for a stroll then.
So you're gonna go outside?
Yeah.
I think Harlow's probably gonna sit there and look for a couple minutes and just say, I'm feeling alright. I'll survive. It's okay. I should go back leaning up against the wall and just.
Okay, I'm thoroughly confused, but alright.
Oh,
I like the
Are you
new
outside the house?
Flint,
look. Yes.
here, and I hand you two coverings for your bracers that I've
Wow.
made out of like rabbit pelt.
Oh,
Those are recognizable.
true. Thank you.
Nice.
I just imagine like bunny heads on the hands, just.
No, I have.
That's
Pavel
awesome.
has a little tact, okay?
That's awesome. Where did that come from?
God.
Oh, I've killed and skinned like several rabbits over the
Yeah.
course
No, I
of
mean the
my life.
tact. Where did the tact come from?
Yeah, I
That's
was
new.
gonna say, like, not a lot of tact, just a little.
Devin has plenty of tact, but I'm not sure about Pavel. Are you outside the house, Flint and Harlow?
I don't know at this point. No, I guess.
No.
How can I have the Tarrasque attack you if you won't go outside?
Well, now we're just staying in. That's just the end of it.
We live
I-
here now.
I stand up, big stretch. Let's go get food. Then I walk outside.
Sounds good.
And then a terrace kills us.
And that's the
Yeah,
last
the
thing I
Tarrasque.
saw, Pavel.
Takes a shit on you.
Can I go?
That would probably kill you, honestly.
Can I go check Old Bill to see if he has any brands or insignia on him or his equipment?
Sure.
Good call.
Anybody outside make a perception check for me, please? As you examine Bill, he's kind of just a nondescript mule. He's grayish. He doesn't have any incredibly identifying, like no big splotches of other color other than gray. No really identifying. He's like an incognito mule.
I rolled a 12.
15.
I don't see anything.
12 for Lyle as well.
Oh, I didn't roll.
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't gone outside yet.
Flint, you notice stuck to the outside of the door to the house, kind of tacked up there, is a twig, like a long twig, almost like a stem of a long stem of a flower, and leaves folded, green leaves folded around in the shape of a flower, not dissimilar from a flower you were given that you found upon your pillow.
I'm gonna take it and tuck it away.
Duh.
So you're gonna get some breakfast,
Yeah.
pack out, go get something to eat. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just get something to eat and then go.
Okay.
I wanna like leave as soon as possible.
Very good.
I'm gonna make sure
Okay.
Harlow gets some water.
Hangover helper. Yeah, so you're able to go inside, and there's, of course, you know who in there, ready and eager to serve you for all your breakfast needs.
Yep.
If you want to do like a quick breakfast on the road.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Yeah.
We just
Okay.
get like the traveler meal or whatever.
Yeah.
Make it a sandwich.
Can I get half a meal?
She's got
chicken nuggets.
a thing called Hiker's Pick,
That one.
and it's got and she can put it for anybody who wants this. It's just 3 copper. She could put each one in a little sack. There would be nuts,
That'll work.
some dried meats, some crusty bread, and some fresh cheese that would definitely get you on your way. She's got milk, water, tea, coffee, ale, grog, wine for anyone, Harlow.
Hair of the dog.
Hair of the dog. Yeah.
I'll get everyone a hiker's pick and have her put them in like bags.
Yeah. Little baggies with everybody's name on each bag.
I don't know about that, but
Yeah. Okay.
And then
Little message from mom.
I'll hand them out as I walk outside.
You get on the math test today, Flint.
For
I think Flint would be good at math.
No.
for 10 silver, she sets you guys up with the hiker's picks, and she sends along a big bag of fresh blueberries
Cool.
Ooh.
and fills your water skins.
Oh, nice.
You know, kind of that's fussing over you. Obviously, she knows you're off to do some good, hopefully.
Okay. I thank her as I leave.
I'm going to just sort of put my hands on her shoulders and be like, the world does not deserve you. And just gently kiss her forehead and be on my way.
She smiles. I believe you're right. Please come back safely and tell us what you found. And you know that was kind of the expectation of the constable, that you'd figure out what the hell's going on and come back.
Nah, we just take the money and run.
Right? Steve Miller Band. Okay. So here's the choice before us. It's 9:45, almost 10 till 10. I know we got people that are sinking.
I'm
Tired? This would be a narratively perfect place to stop, just because you're about to, set off on
The questy.
On the
adventure of a
road
lifetime,
again.
or not. Could be 3
Yeah.
kobolds in the slingshot. You just don't know. Pretty
Have
sure
an
it's not.
alchemist fire thrower. We're good.
And we have
Launcher, man. Launcher.
I do have alchemist fire.
You do notice, Pavel, Dilius is nowhere to be found in the tap room,
I did not expect him to be.
so he's probably
Off somewhere, burning fingers off.
madly tinkering in his tinkerer's hut. So, would you all like to end right there? Was that enough drama and role play for one evening?
I think
Yeah,
that'll
sure.
work.
Yeah.
Sure.
My heart could go for days, but my body's like, good call on the
Yeah.
Good
10
call.
p.m.
Alright, good
And
call.
if you all want to rethink when we play, we can always look at trying at 7 or 7:30
We can talk
just to
about
start a little earlier.
it. All right.
Yeah.
I found.
All right. Well, go ahead.
I found a stream. Madame Gandalf. They are
Yay!
playing. They are
Oh, yeah.
playing the Witcher RPG.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So-
Yeah, send us over.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, everybody, thanks for
Bye.
hanging out.
Bye.
Let's raid this joint.
Bye, Internet.